taking the course today and kind of just going through what is cPanel and what exactly you can do with it. I'm going to kind of read through it and then I'll just explain if there's anything. The cool thing is you will get a learner server, and then if you don't have a domain, you can choose a subdomain. That way this is completely free. You can go along with the course or the classes, and also get a free subdomain. So you want to click this link. I'll go ahead and click it. And yes. And then see it says register new domain, transfer, use existing, or use subdomain. Alright. And so I've already gone through and placed my order. So now I'm just going to go check on the server. So this is normal. It's going to take a little bit of time for the SSL to get set up, or at least to show it in the panel. I'll show you how to set it up once we get into cPanel, or at least how to check that it's set up. Alright, so you should see this, and so this is just going to be your panel inside of our backend. It's just going to be kind of like quick shortcuts, and just kind of like information about it. You can quick create emails here, but I'm going to show you how to create emails inside of cPanel. So we can go ahead and log into cPanel. Alright. And so we'll go ahead and start the first slide. So intro to cPanel. So cPanel is a web-based control panel that allows users to manage their web hosting accounts efficiently. It is designed to simplify website and server management for both beginners and experienced users. Let's see. So you have file management. You can upload files super easily. And again, this is the first step. This is just introduction to cPanel. Kind of get you used to what the panel looks like. There's not really going to be any deep information, but you can set up professional emails with cPanel. You can manage your DNS records with cPanel inside the domains, and I'll show you that too. You can manage databases using PHPMyAdmin, and then Softaculous, which has like 200 open source softwares you can download directly to your file manager, but this just simplifies it for like WordPress and a bunch of the big ones. And you do have security tools, performance monitoring, so like errors, you can see your analytics, you can see all kinds of stuff in there, and then advanced tools like cron jobs. Alright, so we're inside of cPanel, so we can mark this as completed. Alright, cool. So next class, intro to domain management with cPanel. So we're going to click on domains, and a little trick here is, so just to kind of get your basis in cPanel, I'll show you this. You can close all these if it's just overwhelming, and really all cPanel is just this. This is all your general information right here. So like this is your username, this is your primary domain, so like the domain that's currently attached, that's the main one. You can have more domains pointed towards your server. Your shared IP, or if you have a primary IP, dedicated IP, home directory, last login, and then this is just your server stats right here. You can change your theme if there were more, server information. So this will always be the same. Like this information inside of here will change, but this will always look the same. Same as this. You can move these around. So if you wanted to like move that one underneath there, if you didn't really care about billing, you can move it all the way to the bottom. to some domains. So pull domains to the top just so we can work on it. We'll go into domains. Alright, so these are the domains currently being managed by your server. This is just going to be a list of those domains. And then for our test server, so this is going to be it. This server does automatically install WordPress on the website, but in WordPress 101, I'll show you all how to do that from scratch. We'll just uninstall WordPress and I'll show you how to install it. And real quick, I'll show you how to make a subdomain. So you can put anything here. You can just do test dot, and you just need to type it in. So I need this .webdesign.com. And if it was like this is a subdomain. But if it was yours, you would just subdomain.yourdomain.com. That's how it would be. Right, and then I don't recommend sharing the root document for the subdomain. And then submit, and boom. And then for you to be able to check this off, go ahead and just refresh, and you'll be able to turn that on. And I always recommend forcing HTTPS. And so we'll go to the next slide. You can create a new domain. Already showed you that. So mark it as completed. And then we'll go on to the next one. And so what is zone editor? So your DNS. So this is a whole lot of fun when it comes to DNS. There's just a lot going on. So these are just some like quick actions right here. And then this is your actual DNS. So it does look overwhelming at first, but if you kind of just look at like the types here, you can organize them by types. And so like your text, that just like it says, it just holds these text files, or it just holds these text inputs. And so like if it was for emails and stuff like that, then this allows like verification. Then MX is for emails again. Your CNAME, that's just an alternative name, just like www. So if someone was to type in www.testtest.webdesign.com, it's essentially redirecting that to testtest.webdesign.com. It's just essentially saying it's another name for it. Same thing if you were to type in mail.testtest.webdesign.com, because for you to get to your mail for the server, it's actually webmail.testtest.webdesign.com. Oh, there it is, right there. It's 165. Alright, but you don't have to know everything about this. You can learn as you go when it comes to zone editor. Zone editor is where you can go to manage your DNS. What is DNS? Domains do a lot behind the scenes. When you type in example.com, it goes on a quest. So the DNS journey for example.com. The DNS domain name system route for a domain like example.com involves several steps that allow a client to resolve the human readable domain name into IP address that the internet uses to locate the server hosting the website. Here's a step-by-step explanation. So first is your browser's cache, like your Google Chrome. It'll save versions of your websites, just to load it quicker. Then your operating system, local DNS. Then it'll go on to the top level domain. So for this instance, it's going to be the records4.com, and then it'll look for example. And example.com would have a specific IP address. So the root name server responds with the address of the TLD name server responsible.com domains. The recursive resolver queries the .com TLD name server to find out the authoritative name server for example.com. If this was, this, teams.design.net. The authoritative name server would be webdesign or ns1.webdesign.com and ns2.webdesign.com. The TLD name server provides the IP address of the authoritative name server for example.com, which is configured by domain owner during the domain setup. Again, web design name servers ns1.webdesign, ns2.webdesign.com. Let's see. And then the name server IP address example.com. Shared IP address, so 165.140.692.0.2. Recursive resolver then queries the authoritative name server for the IP address of example.com. So it's going to be these two and then that IP address. Then the authoritative name server returns the A records, usually it's an A record, which contains the IP address for the server hosting example.com, which would be, if we go back to DNS, you'll see 165.140.692.0.2. Boom. And again, that's going to be right here. 165.140.692.0.2. Cache the result. Again, all of this is going to cache it so that you can load it faster in the future. Browser connects to the server. So all of this happens before you've even loaded the website. You haven't even downloaded the website yet. Now you've connected to the server. The browser uses the IP address to connect to the web server hosting example.com, and then once connected, the server sends back the requested web page or resource. So essentially you do all of these steps, then you read the DNS, then you connect to the server, then you download the website. And all of that happens in milliseconds. So this process, while involving multiple steps, typically completes in milliseconds. It is common for the zone editor to seem very overwhelming and confusing, but once you understand it, it quickly makes sense. So yeah, like I said, once you understand it, it kind of does make sense. Once you have pages and pages and pages of this, it does still become overwhelming, even for people who edit them. Sometimes it just depends. I mean, it's a different type of overwhelming. It's just a lot of work. Let's see. So common DNS records, you can learn this if you want, but a lot of times you're going to be dealing with A records, CNAME, MX records, text records. The NS records, again, those are just going to pretty much stay the same unless you're changing hosts all the time. And then a lot of these are just, you're going to see SPF, DMARC, alias, a name sometimes. Let's see. Yeah. Really, you don't have to memorize these. Whenever you need to do your DNS settings, usually there's going to be some documentations that explains whatever you're trying to do. Oh, I say it right here. You do not need to memorize these. Just understand that over time you may need to edit your DNS to manage emails and other domains. A lot of times your DNS will be updated for you. For example, if you created a subdomain on create domain section, it would automatically add whatever you added in there into the domain. And yeah, I did show you how to do a domain. So that was test.test.webdesign.com, and you'll see that right here. And then we'll go back and show. So we'll do test3.test.webdesign.com. And you'll see it's not going to be in here. Submit. And then we'll duplicate. And we'll see test3. Boom. So sync test3 right underneath webmail. And see. And alright, and so we have completed this. Mark is completed. And then we'll go on to redirects. Alright. So go ahead and close all these tabs. Alright, so redirects. Alright, so redirects are pretty cool. They allow, there's many use cases for it. Main ones is just if you have multiple domains, you want to point them at each other. Or if you have really old pages that you want to delete, you want to point them at a new page and you don't want to ruin your SEO, then you could do it here, or you could do it in other places, but this is one place you can do it. You can either choose permanent or temporary. This kind of just tells the search engines whether to expect it to be there for a while, or if it's going to be just a temporary thing. If you choose permanent, you can change it in the future. Don't be scared. That just kind of slows down the search engine from checking again. So if it's going to be like a temporary change where you want people to stop looking at a page for a little bit, do temporary. If you think it's going to be a while, do permanent. You can turn it off, and I'll show you that real quick too. So if there's a specific directory you want to move or point, redirect, you can do that here. Don't put anything if you want it to be the whole domain. Choose your domain, or you can pick all domains. We'll just choose test3, and then we'll do web. You do have to choose the protocol, so HTTPS, and then we'll do webdesign.com, and then www. So you can choose only redirect with www or with both, with or without. Nobody uses www anymore, so just do redirect with or without. And then wildcard redirect, you're not really going to use that often. Alright, and so we will go ahead and point test3 at web design, and so that has gone through. So if we were to type this domain in, boom, send straight to web design. Alright, and then to prove that it's not permanent, see, I showed you permanent, we'll go ahead and delete it. Alright, and then we'll type that back in. And you just learned cache, so we'll go ahead and actually open a new incognito and then do that. And so that's what browser cache is. So you see how the browser has cached the redirect, but once it was deleted from the server and it went down the DNS route, it downloaded the new DNS and there was no reroute, so it sent it to the correct directory. Alright, and then so let's see, what are redirects? I already went through that. This page is redirects. Here's breakdown. Add redirect section. This section allows you to create new redirects. Alright. Domain drop down button. Already went over that. Directory. Redirects to. And again, if you get this, if you go in here and you type in this domain and you're getting redirect must contain protocol, just remember to type in HTTPS. Nowadays, you're always going to be doing HTTPS. Google actually will punish you if you don't have SSL. So, and all of our servers automatically have SSL, so you're good in that regard. All right, and then wildcard redirects, add button, and cool. And so that's everything for this section, and we can mark as completed.